Welcome back to episode 2 of Cozy Cloud Media Podcast with your host and founder, Veana Baby. How are you guys doing tonight? I am so excited to have you guys back from episode 1, where we talked about healing and growth and soft girl era and a bunch of word vomit that I gave you that kind of made sense, that a few people resonated with, and I'm so excited about that. Episode 2 is kind of going to have that same structure of just talking, and hopefully something coherent comes out, because I just am excited to even be having an episode 2. And I'm eager to even be doing episode 2. Usually I am not consistent with a lot of things, because my mind always starts something and then never finishes it, because I start something else and then I get interested in something else and then I get interested in another thing. So it's hard for me to stick with one thing and actually follow through and finish it. So I have a very strong feeling that this is something that I want to stick with, and I want to make sure that I follow through in. So yeah, Cozy Cloud Media Podcast, babes. All right, so episode 2, basically, I want to get into, I was riding home. So today I had a really long day, and it was a good, fulfilling day. My friend just moved into her apartment, and I'm so proud of her, very happy for her. The apartment is beautiful, especially the one that she was looking at in specifically. Gorgeous. It kind of gave me a New York vibe in Portland, which was really nice. But while we were driving home after getting dinner, first of all, I just love that I can even go out to eat with my friends and have a nice little dinner and go home and just chill. But while we were driving home, I was looking out at the river and I was like, wow, it's first really beautiful. And 2, I'm insanely grateful for where I am in life. So I always was chasing my old self. I always wanted to go back to how I felt before I got into a very bad relationship. And then I was told don't chase the past version of you, because there were still some flaws there. And I totally get that. But I think I wasn't chasing the past version of myself. I was chasing the emotions and the memories and the feelings that I had at that time period. So while I was looking out at the river in the car and I was smiling, I was like, wow, I feel like I'm back in that era, in that feeling, in those memories, in those experiences, because it feels so nice to just be carefree. I know exactly what I want to do with my life. I have a job, I have money coming in, I have a passion that I'm actually chasing. I'm doing things that are fueling my future self, but also my current self. Because again, here we go with the word vomit, but most of my life I was living in 5 months ahead or 5 years ahead, because I kept saying to myself well, this won't matter in 5 years. And then 5 years would pass and it didn't matter, because I didn't even remember what I was really stressing over 5 years ago. But then I told myself I can't keep living in what will life be like if in the future I'll be this, or I'll go do this, but once I'm that person. But never trying to even become that person. I wasn't even doing the steps to achieve what that person would be like. Until I told y'all in the episode 1, if you weren't here, I'll do a little recap. I basically woke up one day and decided you see those motivational TikToks, they'll be I woke up one day and my life changed. That kind of was me, but it wasn't my life changed in a day. It was more so my mindset changed in a day. I decided in that moment, I was tired. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of not living. I was tired of not experiencing what life really could be like if I just go out. I had a lot of fear and social anxiety. I didn't really want to leave my house. It was comforting for me to just be here. But at the same time, I was losing my mind because I wasn't having human interaction. Yes, there's people outside going for walks, and when I'm going for walks, but I mean people that I can talk to, people I can network with, people that I can be personable with, vulnerable with. I wanted that, and I was missing that. So I was well, the only way I can get that is if I just get out of my head and try to conquer my social anxiety. And so that's what I did. So I've been living in that era of becoming her, which is amazing for me, because I hated laying down all day scrolling through TikTok and just smoking, and then being oh yeah, just in a day or a week or so I'll become her. And that never made me feel good, because I was oh my God, I'm never going to become her. Why? And then I would cry about it. But then I was like, no, Veana, like you have the power to change your life. And it sounds so cliche until you do it. That's like sometimes when I talk about like motivational self-healing and like all those things, I feel like I sound corny. I do, because I feel like I sound like one of those ads on TV, like, oh, if you take this pill, you're gonna feel great, you know? But it's like, no, seriously, if you go for your morning walk, like, ooh, leeway. This morning, TikTok decided to update everything. Okay. I hate it. I do not like this TikTok. I'm so sorry. It's just not the new update is gross. I was trying to edit a video in the app and it was frustrating me. It was early in the morning. Honestly, it was way too early for me to be even doing that, but I wanted to do it, I guess, at that moment. And my mom called me. And I always answer my mom. I always try to answer because I never know if she's calling, if she's in a bad circumstance, or just like, I just never know. I have like this trauma, whatever. I always answer. I told her, I was like, I just want to let you know, like, okay, I'm glad that you're okay, but I am not. So I need to hang up and take care of myself right now. I will get back to you. And she was like, okay, I got you. And I just started crying because I was frustrated. But something told me, I was like, okay, you have two ways of handling this situation. Your old self could handle the situation by going back to bed and just going to sleep and just laying in bed and probably crying for the rest of the day and scrolling through TikTok. Or I can get up, get dressed, and go for my morning walk, which is a simple I do 2 loops, right? And I was fighting it. I was fighting going outside. I was making excuses. I was like, well, it kind of doesn't look nice outside. Or like, it might be cold. Like, I don't know. My feet hurt. I'm tired. Like, I'm cramping. Like, all these excuses. But something told me, like, Veana, get up and go outside. And so, you know what I did? I went for the walk. I walked my stupid little depression episode off. And it was worth it. I needed that. Because by the end of my walk, I ended up calling one of my friends up and she was like, hey, like, I'm about to get my apartment. Do you want to go with me? And I'm like, yeah, like that gives me something to do today. And that's what I did. I hung out with her for the entire day. And that was great. I was like, imagine if I didn't get myself out of that depression, out of that sadness, out of that irritation. Imagine if I didn't get up. I wouldn't have actually experienced the day. I wouldn't have gotten like my lashes on, put a little makeup on, lipstick. Like I wouldn't have done any of that. So I'm so proud of myself because I feel like those little changes that I made to my routine, the healthy coping mechanisms are coming in. And I love that for me. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's something that's brand new, but something that I've been needing for so long. Like I'm 26 years old. And I thought that I would be this person at 30. I thought that I would have to wait at least 4 more years to become who I feel like I'm becoming. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm healed. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% like over everything that I've been through. But it's like, I would say that I am on the right path to becoming a version of healed. And that's all that matters, you know, like I just can't see myself giving up this streak of good energy and good vibes and happiness to backtrack to any romantic relationship that made me feel less than who I was, backtrack to any friendship that didn't make me feel seen. I don't want to go back. I don't. There's no reason for me to go back to who I was. Who I am now and who I want to be in the future has no relation to the past version of myself. She was necessary for that journey and that chapter, but there is no reason that I need to hold on to her for any more chapters, for any more pages. You feel me? Like, I will say, if I could go back in time, I would hug me. Bro, I would give me the fattest hug on this earth and just say, it gets better. And I know you think this sounds corny, but it really does get better. And when you know it gets better is when it's just like life feels calmer. Like you don't feel like you're fighting. You don't feel like you're in any drama. You feel like if anybody has beef with you, it's very much one-sided because you yourself are just in you're in you mode. You're in self-love mode. You're in self mode. Your vision is only on you. Like that's what it is. And I feel like that's what I've been achieving, is being in like my self-love mode. I hope everybody gets to the point where I'm at, where I'm on chapter 1 of my healing journey. Like I said, I'm not healed, I'm healing. I'm not there when it comes to like, if my ex came up in my room right now, I would probably still have a panic attack. Okay. So I'm not completely healed, but I am on the path of healing. The one where I know that I want to do better. So I'm choosing to do better. I'm on that path. And I feel like that's the path that everybody talks about when they have like a big transformation moment. I feel like that's where I'm at. So I can't wait to like tap back in 6 months later and talk about the progress that I've made a year from now, even 2 years from now. Just letting everybody know, like, this is how we just keep going. It just keeps getting better from here. That's how I feel. I feel like life is just going to keep getting better from here, only because my mindset is in that like era of just like, oh, I'm in my soft girl era. I'm in my everything works in my favor era. I'm in my living my best life era. I'm in my putting myself first era. I'm in my I love myself era. I'm just in that era. I'm in that bitch era, period. Like, I know that there's nothing but good vibes coming my way. So it's just like keeping that mindset, keeping those vibrations up, keeping that like thought in my head is what motivates me to keep this healing journey going. I hope that something in this podcast helped. I hope this video helped somebody. If you ever want to talk, I'm open to it. Leave comments. Like, just let me know how you're feeling. Like, this week, what did you do to help get your routine going? Or did you start your routine? Or do you need help starting your routine? Because I can also help with that too. Thank you so much for listening to Cozy Cloud Podcast. And I hope you guys have a good night. And I hope you look out for episode 3. And yeah, have a good night.